Hey guys, I'm Cody with CJC Off-Road. This is my brother Cole, and we're out here in Barstow, California to make a comparison video that we've gotten a lot of requests for. Time and time again, we get calls of people asking, how does a Carli equipped truck compare to a Raptor? And today we're gonna find out. All right, so for those of you who aren't familiar with what a Carli kit is, the suspension system on this truck is the Carli Pintop 2.5 King Shock leveling system. It includes soft ride springs front and rear, King shocks. The Pintop is the style of shock that mounts in the OEM mounts. It has their fabricated radius arm, which gets rid of the rubber joint in your radius arm and goes to a large Johnny joint in the rear, so that allows for a lot more movement off-road. It has the Carli stainless steering stabilizer that helps control the 37s, and on that note, it's the 37-inch Toyo MT tire and a 13.5 wide, so it has a super high load rating and it's a super durable tire. The wheels are the Innovate G500. These are the simulated beadlocks. And yeah, the truck is my daily driver to work. We commute on LA highways, and now we're gonna test it out in the dirt.
So this truck over here is a 2018 F-150 Raptor with a 3.5 EcoBoost. Suspension-wise, it's completely stock. It has 3-inch diameter Fox shocks all around. Interesting thing about the 3-inch Fox shocks on the Raptors is internally, the pistons are actually more similar to a 2.5 diameter shocks piston. And so, you know, maybe not so much of an issue on this truck due to the lighter weight of the F-150, but something interesting to note about the suspension on these trucks. Truck's also running Innovate G400 simulated beadlocks and Baja Designs lights. Suspension-wise, it's bone stock. Thought that'd make a good comparison with the Carli Pintop 2.5 since its shocks are relatively similar diameter.
All right, so we're airing down both these trucks. Due to the load rating on these 37 MTs, I'll probably drop to a little lower pressure than what he's gonna drop to on those 35 BFGs. Those, I believe, actually have a C rating. It's a Raptor specific tire, so it's much softer right out the gate. So that's probably gonna be the biggest variance right there in the overall ride comfort.
And keep in mind this F-250 is still an F-250 that can tow a big trailer. Basically a stock truck other than suspension, wheels, and tires. So it's going to be a really interesting comparison to a vehicle such as the Raptor that's factory engineered for high-speed off-road performance.
Now we know this isn't going to be a scientific test. Obviously these trucks, the wheelbase is different, the tire size is a little different, but this really will give you a pretty good idea of just how capable one of these Carli kits is, how it compares to a new Raptor, and if you got a buddy with a Raptor and want to make your diesel truck keep up with it, this should help you out in making that decision.
So to compare the two, I'd say high speed running, the Raptor was a little bit softer over the bigger whoops, although the F-250 I'd say is actually more composed. I'd feel a little more comfortable kicking the F-250 sideways, whereas the Raptor, it really seemed to get a lot of body roll on the hard corners. Highway ride wise, the trucks are actually relatively similar, surprisingly similar. Especially considering the fact that if you price build trucks out, the F-250, the Carli suspension, the Raptor, the stock suspension, they're actually relatively similar in price when it's all put together. So, interesting fact there.
Yeah, the low-speed technical stuff, it worked pretty well with the F-250. You know, again, the solid axle, it's kind of one of those things that every rock crawler Jeep guy's after. You know, where the independent suspension kind of hangs up, it can't quite articulate as well, and it hits its limits pretty quick and causes the whole vehicle to turn, while the solid front axle can, you know, articulate itself without throwing the whole vehicle off. But overall, I mean, in all three situations, every truck kind of has its advantage and disadvantage, and that's something you have to decide on. But if you already have an F-250 to tow, you know, your boat or your trailer or anything like that, and you want to get out and play in the desert with your F-250, the Carli Pintop kit's going to really help you do that and do it in style.
Can't emphasize enough too the fact that the F-250 went everywhere the Raptor did. A lot of spots I was just as comfortable. The only time we really noticed much of a difference between the two actually was the high-speed whoop sections of the giant whoops. The F-250 was a little firmer on those. We also got stuck a little bit with the Raptor when one of the tires started digging and articulating. So I say they both have their pros and cons depending on what kind of terrain you're driving on. and both are more than capable of having a great time in.
Now obviously if you're watching this, you might not be from California. This could apply to lease roads, hunting roads, or anything like that. You know, this terrain is pretty varied out here. It goes from flat desert to these hills that we're in right now. So it can really apply in all scenarios. So keep that in mind. I know we get a lot of comments that people don't jump their trucks. We might have caught a little bit of air today, but that was purely by chance and for a little bit of fun. But you know, these trucks can still, you know, almost open them up on dirt roads and still stay comfortable. So that's going to be a huge key and, you know, the selling point for these kits, that in all situations off-road the truck stays composed, the rider comfort's good, and it's not going to, you know, break the truck in half as you're hitting washboard roads. Yeah, just for a little fun poll here. If you guys want to comment down below if you would rather, you know, money aside, get a Raptor or a fully built, you know, Carli suspended F-250 with all the options. Give a comment down below and see which, and we'll run a little bit of a poll and see which you guys would prefer. If you like what you saw here today, if you have questions, again, this was not a scientific test, so please don't explain to us about wheelbases or anything like that. We get that, but this was simply just to show you how the F-250 can keep up. Any comments, anything like that, give us a call, shoot us an email or comment down below. If you like the video, give us a like, subscribe to our channel. We're hoping to pump out a lot more videos in 2019, and thanks for watching.